Welcome, friend. Welcome to Morrowind. Welcome, friend. Welcome back to Morrowind and to Balmora. After the, frankly, upsetting nonsense of last episode, I'm glad to say that I've managed to get the sound working again, and I think it was just me being a complete numpty. So that's a nice step up. I've tried a fix to get the bards working again, so that will either crash everything the next time I walk into a pub, or it'll let me talk to the guy I was supposed to talk to complete that woman's quest. Although exactly why a highwayman is also the tavern bard is a little beyond me, but I suppose they had to pick some character. And also, I've heard from both, I'm going to pronounce this very badly, I'm sure, Yugon Disnes Runs and DetailDevil, who's one of the authors of Something in the Water, which is the mod which I was being particularly clueless about. They created that with a user called Glitter Gear, giving me a little poke in the ribs that I might not have been persistent enough in my exploration. I apologize for that. I'm a bit quick to...
Someone should teach you.
Well, that is frankly just rude. I'm just standing here muttering to myself. What do you want, you idiot? Go on, get bent. Honestly, nerve of some people. Yeah, I'm a bit wary of just spending hours poking around in corners, because I tend to worry that it's not very interesting viewing, and then I start getting stressed, and then the stuff I'm saying starts making less sense than normal, and that's quite a feat. So I just...
Ask or get going.
Okay, I'm not going to kill you, but it is tempting. Let's just get out of your blast radius, shall we? That's better. Actually have the number lock on. So I'm going back to Pelagiad to try and pick up some of the stuff that I failed at brutally last episode. And then after that, I'm going to womble my way back down to Seydanin to see if I have the mushrooms I'm going to need to get the Mages Guild started. They should be in my box in my little house. And then we'll go to the Mages Guild and see if we can get that started. There are all sorts of quests I could do to start off with things in Balmora, but I almost always start with the Mages Guild. So it just feels like a sort of comfortable way of settling back into the town or something. Don't really have an excuse, but then I don't really need an excuse. At this point, we are properly into the open world. I mean, we're properly into the open world the moment we step off out of Celis Gravis's office, anyway. But you know what I mean. There's a certain density and curation of experience in Seydanin, which is at least intended to get you acclimated to the ideas of the way the game works and how it's going. I've tried some other stuff to see if we can get the darks a bit brighter. I'm not sure if it's going to make much difference. As I said last episode, there's definitely an issue with OBS picking up Morrowind's internal stuff in terms of brightness, and then that's made further complicated by YouTube being YouTube. Saran, Balmora, Ghostwoods, yeah, it's down this way, isn't it? I'm very grateful to the signs actually having readable text on them now, in a nice and stylish and sharp and crisp manner. That's cool. I like that. It helps. Helps me anyway. Being old and vague is a terrible thing, but honestly, there aren't many choices. Like, being old is better than the only real alternative, which is being dead. My grandmother was extremely vague. In fact, she used to call everybody, absolutely everybody, including her daughters, George, which was my father's name, except for my father. She called him Jeanette. She never seemed to notice. It's kind of impressive in its own right, really. Of course, she was drinking the best part of a bottle of gin a day, so maybe she just completely didn't have any fucks to spare whatsoever. I can respect that. So anyway, we're going to head to Pelagiad, and, well, we're heading to Pelagiad. We're going to get to Pelagiad. We're going to see if we can talk to the bard without destroying things, and then we're going to see if we can put some more time in on this quest. Certainly what we've seen of the quest so far, that little cave system's absolutely gorgeous. I really appreciate the work that went into designing that environment. And the guy wasn't much of a threat, which I kind of appreciate. I do understand the reason for boss fights, but as I've discussed ad nauseum, I'm not here for tanky enemies, because, I have saves, and either it's going to be just clearly something that I can't do anything about. That's a very pretty skybox. Or it's a matter of throwing myself against a brick wall repeatedly until it cracks. And, neither of those are super tempting. Right, let's drop a save. I'm not hearing any bardic music. This may be a bad sign.
Hurry this up, will you?
Yeah, you're still broken. Okay. There are probably other things I can do. I will try to fix that again for next time, if I can find something. I don't think I deleted anything, because I'm a digital hoarder. I don't know is that you whistling? You're horrible. Stop whistling. Dolmok Durgdar. Looking for a sword for hire? For the right place we can travel together. No. Thank you. I like the idea of NPCs, and some of them have really good and interesting arc stories, but Morrowind just does not handle NPCs, even summons, at all well. They tend to just make your combat more difficult. Occasionally they'll, like that skeleton I was summoning that was taking up a couple of fireballs, they are sometimes useful as ablative armor. That's about the best case. Stoneflower. Pretty. Don't mind if I do. I'm sure someone must have done a mod for actually pressing flowers into a book or something. I never have collected flowers, but I suppose now in my horrifying middle age that sounds amusing or something. Well, particularly virtual flowers in a virtual book. I don't really see any need to go and grab chunks of the wilderness and murder it and stick it in a piece of paper for my amusement. I mean, we have cameras. I can steal their souls instead. Gotta be worth more. And speaking of stealing souls and the worth of stolen souls and stuff, maybe we'll be able to speak to Playwright if I do the proper stuff. Now, it was pointed out to me that when I cast that spell that looked for keys, I didn't look at the minimap. And that's true, I didn't look at the minimap. I was busy scouring the screen trying to see a hint of a glow, but apparently it was marked on the minimap and I'm just dumb. And DetailDevil actually went so far enough as to say, maybe look under the helmet. Thank you, DetailDevil. I greatly appreciate that tip. Oh yeah, there we are. Tamriel and Trellis's key. Fantastic, thank you. IR to idiot. That's the trouble with when you're actually recording this stuff. You know, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm not a streamer, I'm just some doofus. But there is a sort of weird pressure to try to be entertaining. Okay, 5 gold. Sure. Pelagiad sigil amulet. Pelagiad return amulet. Okay. And now the journal is accessible. This is the man's journal. It's full of sorrow and grief, but you discover more about his dealings with Pelagiad. Apparently he turned to Pelagiad because he had a terminal illness and hoped for a cure. The journal says there are 2 amulets around here. One will take me to Pelagiad's shrine, and the other will return me to this place. Okay, cool. I personally might have made that information visible before having the amulets. I think the fact that I couldn't open the book was what made me think there was something wrong and stopped me looking. But, you know, as I've said, it's mainly that I just don't want to be too boring. Which is ironic, because I often feel quite boring. But still, if you're still here listening, presumably you don't entirely agree. So thank you for that. I appreciate your passive vote of confidence as evidenced by the fact that you can hear me saying this. And John, Jimmy, you're just strange. Don't know what to say there. Where did I put these things in my inventory? Here we are. Can I can. Excellent. Ooh. It's like a sunrise. How pretty. Building nav mesh. I like it. That's the shrine. I mean, it's rude not to say hi. We have just walked in. Okay, I mean, that seems to me to firmly fall into the camp of solving one of your problems by making it much, much bigger. But as my friend Dave was saying just yesterday, there's a certain elegance to using a bigger problem to solve a smaller problem, because at least then you've shifted your problem, and that's got to be progress, right? So, okay, thank you, Pelagiad. I will have an extreme close-up on my horrible helmet. Is this going to poke through my face? Or are we going to stop accidentally just outside the helmet? Inquiring minds want to know. Well, wow, that's definitely going to be the screen cap for this video, isn't it? Nice stuff. Sarah, pure class. Never change. Okay. Talk to your Plague Master. Sure. You have insane eggs as well. Okay. Are all Kwama eggs going to hold random food? Because that's kind of glorious if that's the case. Don't fall off the cliff. All right, let's see if we can find this this Plaguemaster. Definitely detected a hint of a European accent about Pelagiad there. Hopefully he'll be voiced all the way through, so I won't have to try and fail to recreate that. This looks more like a nasty fall to the death than anything else. Yeah, I need to get my acrobatics better. Is there a door at the back or anything? One of these level ups, I'm going to have to take some training in acrobatics. I don't like training primary skills, but it's too useful. Also, just in terms of Balmora, I like being able to bounce from rooftop to rooftop like some kind of parkour addled lunatic. That appeals to me. That looks like a messy death. Really, I'm already in a pit I can't get out of. Syra, you have to learn how to jump better. Shoddy. Potion of Rising Force. Let's see if I have 15 seconds. I'm just going to tumble to a horrifying end here. Yeah. Still. Let's try this route. As a lifelong height phobic, I've always had a certain degree of admiration for games that actually start making me feel deeply uncomfortable. Because, you know, it's not me, it's not real, it doesn't even look like any reality I've ever physically found myself in. And yet, height phobia. So, good work. This is a very interesting environment for certain. And again, the attention to detail is fantastic. I can't even begin to imagine how much time was put into placing all of this stuff. That's a lot of work, folks. Kudos. And to do it without overloading the engine as well, because that's the other thing. There's always a strict limit to how much stuff you can pile into one zone, one cell, without risking overloading things. And this is running very smoothly. Coal pile. Coal. Shocking. So yeah, great design work on this. I am very much liking it, and DetailDevil, thank you very much for pointing out that I was being an idiot. I appreciate that, because I'd have missed this, and that would have been sad, because this is really cool. And I get to unleash my horrifying hoarding instinct. Oh yeah, I was going to make some comment earlier about how, I hoard things digitally. So that's why I'm fairly goddamn confident that I didn't delete anything from the Bards of Vardenfell stuff. Because, what normally happens with me in disk drives is I hoard stuff, they fill up, then I buy a bigger disk drive, copy everything over, move the older one into a cupboard somewhere where it's going to be safe for that emergency when I need it, which is never, and repeat the process. And luckily disk technology has managed to keep pace with me so far, but I tend to hoard smaller stuff rather than larger stuff. I don't hoard movie files or anything. That way lies 48 terabyte RAID arrays that you're constantly having to add to. And, I'm covetous of that sort of thing, but I don't have the the money or the energy for that sort of real serious hoarding. But, mushrooms in Morrowind, bring it on. Scamp, huh? Are you hostile? Scamp egg miner. Hello, Scampy. Scampy. That's a cursed thing to call someone. You're not hostile. I'm not going to attack you, there's no need. I might steal everything that isn't nailed down, but I don't kill things, really. Not unless, they need killing. Goods are just stuff. Stuff doesn't really matter all that much unless you're stealing someone's last crumbs of food, and I don't do that either. Blighted Kwama. Oh, I can get blighted Kwama eggs. But Kwama eggs are not Kwama eggs, they're like beef and apples. And scrib pie. I like scribs. But not to eat. Scribs are cute. Don't approve. And again, no one asked me, so who cares? Trying to permeate mortal housing. Okay. I'll bite. Well, I don't know what I expected, but yeah, no denying it. Bunk beds. Thanks. I think I'm okay for a nap. Oh, now I need to defend myself from time. Oh, it's a forager. The blighted forager, nonetheless. Yeah, I like the idea of fatigue mechanics in games, but they're never done in an interesting way, really. It's just, every so often you've got to go and press this button in this location. Oh, good, an acrobatics increase. That's a nice start. Eee, boing, boing. Obviously, I have no idea where I'm going. I'm looking for this chappie, but I'm also poking around. And just, wow, look at all this. Well, all right. horse meat. Horse meat of the gods. Going to the supermarket would be quite a lot more interesting if all you could buy was like pokeballs and they had some random ingredient in, and you wouldn't know what it was until you got the stuff home and like cracked your pokeball open. Also quite a lot more unpleasant for a lot of people, I'm sure. Like, what if you didn't want to eat, you know, kwama pie or something? Well, that's what's for lunch. And clearly non-ideal. But, you know, chaos. Chaos is a ladder or something. Chaos is its own reward, I rather feel. Particularly when it's constructive rather than destructive chaos. Another scamp. Are you accessible? I think so. Maybe, anyway. Maybe not. Don't think I can do that, no. But I'm going to go on the basis that whether or not we're looking for a scamp, the chances are that it's not going to be somewhere totally unobtainable. Like, you know, as a GM, that's a dark elf. Where are you, dark elf? Are you below me? Let's find out. Ooh, acrobatics. AKA falling onto the floor. Wild Flame Ruler. Very nice. Worth a pretty penny too. Also, Dugon Disness runs pointed out to me that the reason I was getting such a bad price on some of those bits of stuff at Creeper was because they weren't repaired. Somewhere deep down in my addled brain I do know that. But again, I'm very grateful for the reminder. So thank you. If, you know, at any time, if you spot me being the blithering idiot, Tram, do let me know. Poison mirror robe. It'll sell. Crying ring. I mean, these are really cool items that I don't remember coming across. Don't think they're going to change my playstyle, but can I even be said to have a playstyle? I mean, I can brag. I rather feel that I might be overstating the case. Oh, there's someone. You're one of the people I heard. Are you the gatekeeper? You are Nessic.
Have you no sense about you? You spread disease like a rat.
This is Periite Shrine, old bean. I don't know you and I don't care to know you. Okay. Fine.
Have you no sense about you?
You've got a blight disease, Outlander. Get away from me. Go get cured or stay away from me. Well, I do have a... I mean, presumably just being here gives blight diseases, you'd think. Do I have a multiple disease cure? Cure blight disease 4. I do. So let's try it. Yeah, that's better. I don't believe I've seen a red guard with such a grand outfit in some time. Can I help you? Got any advice? Remember that nothing is free or comes without effort. Very sanctimonious. You're just random NPCs, aren't you? That's fine. NPCs are important. The world is very dead without them. That's the housing, isn't it? I think I've already walked up here. Fine. Yeah, housing. Well, I thought I saw a shrine entry portal around here. Not shrine, a Daedric. Well, yeah, shrine, a Daedric door around here somewhere. Is that it? Yeah. What do you have to say for yourself? Plaguemaker's quarters. Okay. Hello, old chap. You look like you're having a fun day. So, in case I chop out a bunch of stuff and resume here, finding the potion master and talking to him or it didn't give me anything tangible in terms of status effects I'm supposed to be using, but it did almost blind me, which I assume is what we're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to find the way out before I go and do that again, because I got killed by Quelmer hounds. So let's take something healy. Still got some guar milk, fine. They won't talk, fair enough. Let's see if we can find what the way out is. And then it'll be hopefully simpler. I don't really want lots of blighted Quelmer eggs. I'm not sure there's any use for them at all, to be honest. I guess we'll find out. Model housing. Plaguemaker's quarters. What's that? Oh, I've got the return amulet. Eat it. Okay, well, let's go find out what that is anyway. I completely forgot about the return amulet because, yes, what a stroke of brilliance on my part. I'm assuming all these scamps are the same, yeah. And Queen's Guard again? Oh, you're a Dremora Overseer. Will you talk to me? Nope. Fair enough. Don't blame you. It's this way, wasn't it? Yeah. up there somewhere by the looks of it. Is there a clear way up? Where's that thing? It's quite a long way up. Still. Worth a quick look. Particularly if I have cut out the previous super black stuff. Which, you know, let's hope I have, because honestly I think I'm just being lazy if I haven't. Still not close enough to see. Scamp housing. Again, I don't know what I expected. Some actual Kwama eggs that aren't random bits of food. I'll have that. Oh, I don't really want your pillow. You'd help us scamp out, wouldn't you? Sure. Here's the deal. The Kwama Keen is feeling better, becoming less sick. That's something we can't have, so I'm supposed to feed her this potion, except they told me to do this yesterday. It's today. I'm a busy scamp, okay? It's always work. But anyway, you'd be saving my skin if you took this potion of cause disease over the Queen for a drink. Okay? Sure. Perfect. Here's the potion. Don't drink it yourself. I wasn't going to. Okay. Sure. Yeah, probably shouldn't just fall off. It's a way down. And although harming yourself through falling is a good way to increase your acrobatics, you know, you don't actually want to kill yourself if you can avoid it. Unless you do. But, you know, that's a different problem altogether. I did see the Queen, I think, up in this other far corner. That's the foreman anyway.
I think that tavern girl was looking at me. How can I tell her?
My friend, you're in a cursed plague hole. I don't think she exists. I think you're okay. Just guessing here. Yeah, Queenie. I might be there or there, I guess. If I was a Kwama Queen. Maybe I can ask someone now I have this quest. Again. Yeah, that happens. You don't have anything anyway. Typically speaking, when you're diseased, you can still see the conversation topics that are going to be open to you. And yes, I know, diseased like a rat, etc., but you know, it's all the rage in this sort of place. You could say I'm doing my Daedric devotions. Don't really have Daedric devotions. Because it amuses me. Because I can. Because you're there. I think those are all fine reasons to mildly pester an NPC. See, this is now hitting the point where I'm starting to feel like I'm just wasting everyone's time. If it was just my own time, that'd be one thing, because, you know, I don't mind wasting my own time sometimes. Okay, well, I haven't seen the Queen so far. I'm sure I saw her once, but I don't remember where. I wasn't paying much attention, didn't think I'd need to remember. That was a tactical error. There's not much in the way of line of sight down here. It's very stylish, but it's not super clear sight lines of any sort. So I'm going to make my way to the Plaguemaker. I'm going to try robbing his place before I talk to him as well. And then, you know, sorry scamp old bean, but, you know, it's a hard world. Right. So let's see if taking this stuff causes problems. No. More potions will cause disease. This doesn't really pass the test, but I'm not sure how unique it is, so I'm going to grab it anyway. Ditto the iron spike. And it looks like a pestle and mortar, and it looks gorgeous. I'm going to give it a try, see if it works for alchemy. I think log hook. Yeah. Human flesh. Always handy. Think of it like beef jerky, except nastier. 2 scrolls of divine intervention have been added to your inventory, and everything is dark. Alright. Fine. So, this time, I'm not going to muck around. Ha ha ha. I'm going to use this return amulet. Okay. We are back here. That means we should be able to use divine or civic intervention at this point. Okay. Now I'm supposed to go to Ebonheart. I can't see anything. And if I can't see anything, you definitely can't see anything. Oh, yes, okay, I'll sort that out. Ebonheart Docks, Argonian. Filthy Argonian. That's an Argonian. Are you filthy? You are.
Return to me, no more.
Greetings, Redguard. It's evident you bear the gift, a blessing for one, a curse for others. Pay heed, Redguard, because today you assume the role of a Firewatch scribe. You were tasked to convey this scroll to the grey-robed man next to the statue, clear? Excellent. Take this scroll and give it to him. Okay. So this is obviously Never Seen Soap the Argonian, if I didn't say that before. Depends when I brought you back. They're my Periite contact. We can't see them very well at the moment because we have this fading horror curse thing. Apparently we have to find someone next to the statue and give them a scroll. Yes, don't ask questions, Redguard. Now go and give the man wearing the grey robe the scroll. I wasn't going to ask questions except what do you train? Oh, I'm probably too plaguey, aren't I? Yes, hello. Grey-robed man. And how am I supposed to spot whether he's grey-robed or not? Is he grey-robed? Dunia's Furia. What do you want, Redguard? Who do you think you... Oh, you must be the new scribe I was informed about. Give me your message. Tell them to send a scribe with better eyesight next time. I've never seen cloudier eyes. That you've managed to arrive here at all is truly remarkable. Before you leave Ebonheart, you should go and talk to Lalatia Varian at the chapels. If anyone can restore your eyesight, it'll be her. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Now let's take my potion of getting rid of bad personality. Okay, fine. Now will you talk to me at least? You will. The chapels without delay. Where are the chapels? This place is a maze. If I cast Divine Intervention, it'll actually take me to where this person is. That's not impossible. Worth a shot. Imperial Chapels. Okay, great, that was a result. So I've probably cut out some stuff to get back here because, you know, I'm assuming that since I can barely see anything, you can not see anything at all, so we'll keep this to a minimum. I'm trying to find the woman who can give me back my eyesight. I'm not half dead, I'm slightly damaged.
I am an oracle of the Imperial cult. Sometimes I am even blessed.
Greetings, stranger. You say Dunia's Viria sent you? Let me take a look at your eyes. By the 9! I've never seen such an affliction. Are these worms? Keep your distance, stranger, for whatever clouds your vision may spread to others. Pray to Stendar for luck and mercy. May the divine save you, for I cannot. Okay, and... will that do? Your disease? Your blight? Your poison? No. Restore attributes? I mean, fine, but that didn't help. So, presumably you have a Stendar shrine somewhere. Right. Well, I've spent about half an hour running around trying to work out where I might find some sort of Stendar-related foolishness. I can't find anything. I can't find anyone to give me anything, and the darkness is starting to give me a huge headache. And I've had to cut out the vast majority of it. So, plus the cats are starting to infest me, which is a little stressing. So, I'm not sure how much of the dark stuff I'm going to leave in, but short version. I picked up this disease from the Plaguemaster. He told me to speak to... No, Periite told me to speak to the Argonian on the docks in Ebonheart. I made my way through the darkness to Ebonheart and spoke to the Argonian. The Argonian gave me a coded message to give to some official or other just round the corner. I gave the official just round the corner the message. The message recipient, the official, said to come to this woman who I'm now standing next to and speak to her, and she could heal my eyes. She has not healed my eyes. She said pray to Stendar. I've tried praying at the cult shrine and it hasn't done anything, and I've spent a good half an hour wandering around the Ebonheart area trying to find anything obvious that looks like a shrine to Stendar that I could pray at directly, and I can't. This isn't Oblivion the 9 divines don't have shrines. It's all cult shrines as far as I know. Of course, having said that, it occurs to me that I should probably have a look at the journal, shouldn't I? Because that makes sense. Here we go. The Plaguemaker must have infected me with some sort of disease. My eyes are burning. Is this the gift I'm supposed to bring to the Argonian at the Ebonheart docks? Having successfully delivered the sealed message to the man in the grey robe, I fulfilled Periite's task. I should return to his shrine. Should I? I guess that makes a lot more sense than spending half an hour running around Ebonheart looking for a non-existent shrine to Stendar, doesn't it? Yay. I am so clever. So very, very clever. Period sigil amulet. Hello? Oh, thank gods. Thank Period.
Genuinely impressed. You have diligently upheld your end of the bargain, and true to my promise, the well's affliction upon the people of Pelagiad shall trouble them no more. Behold, your sight
Thank you.
shall be restored.
I appreciate it. Quite a lot. I could definitely have saved myself a lot of unpleasant fecking around, couldn't I? So, I still have that headache. What I might do then is stop right here, now that I have at least solved that particular nonsense. And by nonsense, I mean on my part, not on the part of the quest makers. Like, really, man, honestly, remember to check stuff. Maybe I'll see if I can find the Kwama Queen at the start of the next episode. Or at least have another quick stab at it, because from up here I should have a bit of a vantage point. So, with that said, I'm actually going to stop it here and go and have some paracetamol or something. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.